Good morning, welcome to CATEX-TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. This is a live broadcast from Princeton, New Jersey. Today is Monday, August 16th, 2010. It's 11:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time in the U.S. It's 4:30 p.m. in London. In Mexico City, it's 10:30 a.m. If you need to reach us during the broadcast, you can phone in toll-free at 1-866-67-CATEX. Overseas, our AOL Instant Mail address is CATEX-TV. Today's birthday, the President of Israel, Shimon Peres, is 87 years old. Other news that we will not be reporting on, China has surpassed Japan as the world's second biggest economy. That's not exactly a breaking news headline. And then last night in the western part of the California desert, in some off-road vehicle competition, a truck went off the road and plowed into the bystanders, killing 8 of them. I'm sure you can watch that on YouTube. We'll go to our main news. Across from Lloyd's is the Aviva building. Well, the board of Aviva let out over the weekend their news that they had been unanimous in rejecting the £5 billion, about 7.8 billion US proposal from RSA to buy Aviva's non-life business in the UK, Ireland, and Canada. The conditional proposal was received from RSA at the end of July. Aviva responded on August 6th. Aviva noted that the proposal would have left its pension liabilities of the general insurance business with Aviva, as well as the non-life operations in Holland, France, Italy, Poland, Turkey, and Singapore. Aviva said that the non-life market was currently at a cyclical low, yes, everybody knows that, and that Aviva's number 1 position in England and Ireland and number 2 position in Canada should be valued accordingly and not at the cyclical low. RSA indicated that they've obtained the backing of 3 major banks if it decides to pursue the £5 billion offer. The FT is reporting that those banks are Deutsche Bank, BNP Paribas, and HSBC. RSA, meanwhile, is not finished yet. They say that the offer was of fair value and makes strong strategic sense. RSA says it remains open to discussions with Aviva about buying its general insurance arm, and says that the £5 billion offer represents fair value and would be of interest to both sets of shareholders. RSA indicated that no other primary insurer continues to operate a composite model such as Aviva, and that Aviva's returns on equity have been below those of certain other UK general insurers. RSA added that there is no advantage to writing life and general insurance together under the current Solvency I regime, and while it's too early to determine the net benefits under Solvency II, the direction of regulatory capital changes has been to eliminate double counting of capital. RSA says that Aviva's general insurance business had net income of about £510 million in 2009 and net assets of £3.2 billion. RSA added that it considers its £5 billion offer to be of fair value for the business. This is not over. You can be sure that RSA, if they're going ahead making this kind of a public stir-up about it, they're going to go ahead and pursue it. Here's a very interesting story that came out Friday afternoon. This is Alex Sink. She's the Chief Financial Officer for the state of Florida. She's also running for governor. Friday afternoon, she let out a copy of a letter that she had sent to the CEO of Citizens Property Insurance, in which she claimed that Citizens had engaged in 33 no-bid deals with various contractors and called on the state's last resort property insurer to change the way it does business. She said that Citizens should implement contract reforms to ensure accountable and competitive contracting. Now, the 33 contracts were worth, she says, near $50 million. In other comments she made over the weekend, she claimed that a number of the contracts were as long as 3 years in duration. Question from this commentator: what contracts are of such value that extend over 1 year to 3 years that can be signed by a primary CAT insurance company? Sometimes they're broker of records letters and agreements. We'll see what happens. This is a very interesting story. Well, it's sort of official now from Russia, which is one of the biggest exporters of coal and oil. But they're saying that the heat wave, which has killed dozens of people and destroyed millions of acres of wheat, are another indication that global warming is causing weather extremes around the world. The Kremlin's chief weather advisor, Alexander Bedritsky, cited other disasters that he also believes may be related to rising world temperatures, including Pakistan's floods, France's 2003 heat wave that killed 15,000 people. Bedritsky said that taken together, they are signs of global warming. The U.S. climate change envoy, Jonathan Pershing, also recently said that such weather disasters are the kinds of changes that could be the result of climate change. Russian firefighters, meanwhile, have succeeded in pushing back some of the wildfires, and thankfully, meteorologists are predicting heavy rains and colder temperatures that are going to begin to hit Moscow tonight. 500 blazes are still burning in Russia, but the amount of land on fire fell 15% in the last 24 hours. The blazes and drought, of course, have also cost Russia 1/3 of its wheat crop. Pakistan continues to get worse. An evacuation effort on a massive scale is continuing there. Tens of thousands are fleeing another wave of floodwater in the southern part of the country now. The Indus River has swollen and burst its banks down in Pakistan's southern Sindh province this morning, swamped hundreds of towns and villages. In the provincial city of Jacobabad, the Pakistani army helicoptered people out all day who had been stranded by the rising water. Ban Ki-moon, the UN Secretary General, said that the disaster was the worst he had ever seen. He urged the international community to speed up assistance. Also this afternoon, a UN spokesman said that about 3.5 million children are now at high risk from deadly waterborne diseases as a result of the flooding. Look at this picture. This is not a cloud over this city in Yichun in China. This is the explosive ash from a blast at a fireworks factory in northeastern China. It left 13 people dead, about 150 injured. It occurred in Yichun City in Heilongjiang Province. Shattered windows of buildings up to 1,200 yards away, and shock waves were felt 3 miles away. Also in China, in a separate industrial accident today, 11 people were killed when an elevator at a hospital construction site in Jilin Province crashed to the ground. The half-finished building in Maikou City is 12 stories high. It's not immediately known how far the elevator plunged. Stock market in New York is down about 14 points right now. We'll go to a word from our sponsors. Well, it's been a little bit of a seismically active weekend. We'll pull the first one up. We've got this one listed here as a